You're listening to AFL Nation for Macca's new chicken tenders, made for snacking.
Matthew Cruiser to put Carlton in front. It's through, and the Blues are in front.
Green will get the handball to Watson, who in turn goes to Howlett, and finally they've got a goal. That might stop the rot for the Bombers.
The Blues are away. Look at the pace of blocking.
Silvani's
got a whole half of the ground to work with. He takes the mark. He plays on. He has one bounce. Punt road end, two bounces. Punt road end, steadies. Silvani, goal! Scintillating stuff from the Blue Baggers.
Third quarter highlights for the TAC. With police now conducting more drug tests in more places more often, your chance of getting caught if you drive on drugs are now much greater.
Carlton leads at three-quarter time, 9-5-59 to Essendon, 7-14-56 around the grounds. 16-minute mark of the last quarter at Manuka Giants, 14-12-96. Melbourne, 9-1-55. Robert Worsley and Pickering, you've been having a good look at some very interesting stats at three-quarter time.
Well, we have, Pete, and the one that's a real worry is about Joe Watson. He's had one kick and 6 handballs. He's been going at 57% effectiveness, which is pretty low. But more damning is that metres gained is -17. He's actually taken the ball backwards, and it's very, very rare you see a minus.
Carlton getting the first clearance of the final quarter. Murphy and Pickett combining, and then the bouncing ball was awkward for Bagley, who tapped it cleverly to Hurley, but his handball not great, and Kerridge is able to take the ball to the line. Don't forget, you can join the thousands of Victorians every year who cut their betting with Gamblers Help. It's free, confidential, and it works. Search online for Gamblers Help. Pickers, which way are you leaning?
I'm still leaning towards the team I picked at the start, Essendon, but with absolutely no confidence.
Well, they've got so much to play for. At the moment, they're in 10th spot. If they kick a goal, they'll be in 8th spot on the live ladder. That's how tight it is. Zaharakis forcing the ball inside the 50. That's the defensive 50. And Hurley gets it out of the danger zone. Whoops, Kerridge. He knew the pressure was coming, and the pressure was in the form of Stewart. And now Collier finishing up with the ball, but only as far as Wiedering to Gibbs. And then Gibbs kicks the ball into open spaces. Murphy does go, and he's got the goals in his sights, and he kicks poorly towards the goal square. Gleeson gives the fend off. Hartley will want to force this, and he does. He had the clever little fumble and got it over the line. Under pressure they were, but they got out of it this time. Carlton 9-6-60, Essendon 7-14-56. A minute gone in the final term on the still mates rate scoreboard.
Joe Watson started the game on the interchange bench. He's on the interchange bench now. They're not good signs.
Hurley kicks to Heppel, but over the top comes Curnow and smashes it over the boundary line. So we've got a throw in 65 metres out from the Blues goal. Members side, City end. They lead by 4 points.
Tell you what, they've missed Fantasia's run at goal sets, haven't they?
Yeah, he's a big loss, wasn't he? Yeah. Did a hamstring early in the match. Throw in. Bill Chambers got the tap to Bagley. Handballs to Merritt. In tight. Got it to Zaharakis, to McDonald, Tip and Woody. Bill Chambers back to McDonald, Tip and Woody. Gone, holding the ball. Magnificent chase down.
Jeez, he's quick Pickett, isn't he?
It was Pickett.
Well done, son.
It was a ripping chase to one of the quickest men in the game, and didn't often see him get caught, but he did on that occasion, and Carlton get the ball back. A little short pass to Lamb, who goes inside 50 to Cruiser, who, in my opinion, is absolutely towelled up Belt Chambers this afternoon. Your thoughts, boys?
He's been enormous, again.
Cruiser to the tip of the goal square. No mark, almost fell into a Carlton player's hands. Hartley got it out to Bagley, to Hurley, who's been enormous for Essendon today. He's been their best player by a mile, along with Heppel. As Hurley goes long down the line to the members' side of the ground. Hooker came in from the side, couldn't take the mark, but butted up and got the handball out to Collier. Collier has a steadying bounce on the members' wing. Goes inboard on the left, looking for Stewart, but couldn't quite find him. He kept his feet, though, in the contest against Plowman. Now he's run down by Murphy, holding the ball. Free kick to the Blues at halfback.
James Stewart should learn from that bit of play, because the ball was there to be marked by him, but he thought a teammate could have been in a better position and he hesitated. You just got to go. If you reckon you can get it, you go and get it.
And according to the umpire, he had prior opportunity. It was minimal. But looking at the Chemist Warehouse replay, maybe the umpire got that one right. So it's Armfield who takes the kick, and then he goes for a gallop and goes for a saunter across half-back, and then kicks across the centre square, lands in no man's land, a hole going on. Lamb takes the free kick and immediately kicks to Casbolt. That's good from Jed Lamb. He didn't muck around in the middle of the ground. He saw that Casbolt had a couple of metres on his man, and Big Levi, can you believe it, is going to kick for a 10-point lead.
Well, they're all over Essendon at the moment, aren't they? They're second-guessing themselves at Bombers. They're standing around. They're giving away undisciplined throws. And Carlton just got to have the ability, and he shouldn't miss this. He's at the top of the goal square, for God's sake.
It's not over yet.
It's not in the book yet.
It's not over yet. Don't write it down, whatever you do.
Carlton supporters close their eyes and hope for the best. Levi. He's kicked his first of the afternoon, and Essendon have a real issue to keep their finals hopes alive now. It's the Blues by 10, 10-6-66 to Essendon 7-14-56. Still mates rate scoreboard.
Well, Dennis Armfield took the ball at half back. He played on in towards the corridor. I don't think he knew where he was going. He had a bounce, and then they came at him from all angles. He's just kicked a mongrel towards centre half forward. It was a free kick to Lamb. What Lamb did was the really smart thing. He just played the ball on as quick as he could to give Casbolt a one-on-one opportunity to outmark his opponent. He's going to do that most times, so well done by Lamb to set that goal up.
So how hungry are Essendon? How badly do they want it? How badly do they want to play in September? The acid is being put on them right now as the Blues lead by 10 points. In the middle of the MCG, Gibbs is there working hard. Ball spills to Merritt. Handball ineffective. Comes to Goddard. Handball to Zaharakis. Gives it off to McKenna, who shows great dash. Kerridge corrals. Gives a handball back to Goddard. Gives a handball back to Merritt. Merritt from a standing start. Kicks to the outer wing. Good one. The pass is excellent. Finds Heppel, who plays on straight away. Long-ranging left foot kick. Target is Danaher in front. And takes a good mark.
See if he plays on.
Nothing Jones could do about that. So Danaher just turns his back on play. And he will line up at the punt road end, 45-degree angle. He'll have to kick the ball 60 metres for a goal.
Well, he's going to take his time.
I don't think the triple cut will worry him. He's a thumping kick. Carlton need to get someone on the goal line just in case, but we're going to get it over the fence easily.
Danaher, 2 early first quarter goals. Drop putt on its way, magnificent. Every bit of 65 metres. Sails over the goal umpire's head. And they've responded there in quick fashion, have Essendon. It's back to a 4-point ball game. Carlton 10-6, 66. Essendon 8-14, 62. 6 minutes gone, final term on the still mates rate scoreboard. Danaher has 3 goals.
When the ball comes in and it's put out in front of him and he stretches up with his arms fully extended, very hard for Liam Jones, isn't it? He's given away a lot of inches. Just didn't have the third man up support. Yeah, lovely finish.
Have a look at this, Pickers. Carlton's only got 4 blokes in their forward line, and they've got Wright coming off half-back, little Zach Fisher coming off half-back. I don't like that. I think they've got to be attacking.
So much to play for Essendon. Carlton haven't got a lot to play for except pride, but they are playing the old enemy, so there's plenty of ammunition there. And Dale Thomas wins the free kick and kicks towards Hurley, who kicks or knocks the ball out towards the flank. Fisher is the first one there to Smets.
Oh, really?
Almost unsighted, show and go, and then goes to the hot spot. Casbolt is there. It comes to McDonald tipping Woody, who goes the bailout kick and kicks it as far as he can out to the great southern stand side. Liam Jones, great pursuit by Danaher, but he got him high. But it was terrific endeavour by Danaher to keep at the tackle, and now that holds them up. So Essendon will be able to push some numbers back.
Got Cruiser deep forward.
Jones with the handball, and now the errant kick is cut off by McDonald, Tip and Woody.
It's because they're outnumbered in the forward line, Carlton. They're all in defence behind the ball.
Zach Merritt's got it. That kick goes off the side of the boot. It's gone to no man's land. Who's going to be the first to it? Sprinting after it, Thomas goes with a little Gaelic kick to himself. Ambrose more than content to get the ball over the boundary line. That's where it is, right half forward as the Blues attack to the city end of the ground. 10-6-66 to 8-14-62. Around the grounds thanks to Aviator X-Pro from Bayer. We're in the dying stages at Manuka. Giants 14-13-97. Melbourne 9-2-56.
Cruiser won the knockout. Thomas throws it on the boot inside 50. That's an Essendon mark. No, not paid to Hurley. Got both hands on it.
Oh.
Here's Pickett. Somehow got himself out of traffic. Got the handball to Bokhorst, who kicks a point. Just missed to the right. Wonderful play from Pickett. He shows plenty, Robert Walls.
Yeah, I like him, Quarters. Hasn't got a lot of the ball, but when he gets it, he uses it really well. the tackle, the rundown on McDonald, Tip and Woody was a beauty.
Carlton 67 lead, Essendon 62. 8.5 gone final term. Still mates rate scoreboard.
Hurley with the long kick, almost the mark by Cruiser. Boakhorse tries to kick off the ground and then got the handball while he was sitting on the ground. To Thomas, to Gibbs, snapping. Can he make something out of nothing? Well, it's either a goal to him or a goal to Jack Silvani. One way or the other. The Blues have got another one. And this is starting to look ugly for Essendon. The margin back out to 11 at the 9-minute mark on the Ray White clock in the final term. We think it's Bryce Gibbs' goal. It's Carlton 11-7-73, Essendon 8-14-62.
Fabulous goal from nowhere. Oh, it's his goal, all right. Don't worry about that. That was just a magnificent goal from 50. Just got the real reverse swing, didn't he? Bang.
He did.
And they've answered, haven't they?
And as this game goes on, Essendon being a man short with Fantasia getting injured early, it's starting to tell a bit.
Oh, it just sniffs as an upset here, doesn't it? I mean, they are playing the more hungry football at the moment. And the stoppages, they're getting killed.
So down she goes in the middle once again. Give that one to Bell Chambers. Caught a bit high was the Essendon player in Merritt, and he's got the free kick in the middle of the MCG. He's been pretty good for the Bombers.
No run, though, is there?
Not much. Merritt just chips to the members' wing when it's marked by Parrish. So he plays on. Kicks in the hooker direction. Good mark in front of Wiedering. How have you seen that battle today, lads?
Pretty even, I reckon. I don't think there's much there. I mean, Hooker's kicking hasn't helped, but...
1 goal, 3, Cale Hooker.
Yeah, Wiedering's won some one-on-ones, lost some one-on-ones. He's a young player playing defence in his second year. Hooker's a pretty experienced player.
So punt road end, 45-degree angle, 50 metres out, Cale Hooker. It's a good-looking kick. It is touched on the line.
He was just ready to do a big celebration, Cale.
He's going to put his fist up to you going, cop that, Wolsey.
73 plays 63. The Blues lead by 10 points. 10.5 gone final quarter on the Ray White clock.
Are the Blues going to be able to make it 2 wins over the Bombers in the year? The upset win in round 3. Nobody there apart from Essendon players. Hooker bangs it back in, and Carlton coming from all directions. Got their wires crossed. And luckily for them, the ball spills out of bounds before Green could do anything about it. Plowman slow in getting up. Cop one.
Yeah, it was Wiedering who got him right in the nose.
He did. He got him on the beak looking at the Chemist Warehouse replay.
Oh, did he ever? Oh, that hurts.
It's not funny.
Seeing stars, Lockie Plowman, as the umpire puts it back in. Down from Danaher to Casbolt. Handball to Murphy on the wraparound to Gibbs.
Who's lifted?
He has lifted after a very slow start. Fisher was more than happy to step out of bounds. That was clever. Very clever from Zach Fisher. He knew he was going to be tackled, so he just turned the other way to the way you would normally turn and got the ball out of bounds, and that will do for Carlton.
Which you're allowed to do. Nothing wrong with that.
Half forward flank. Bombers into attack at the punt road end. They're down by 10 points. Casbolt got heavily tackled, but did well to get the handball to Murphy, who got it to Thomas, who's been really good in this last quarter. Got it to Gibbs, who's lifting. Kicks to the wing. Well done, Bagley. Good mark in the contest. Plays on straight away. Handballs to Zaharakis. Gives it to Goddard. Kicks in the Danaher direction, but it's cut off by Caleb Marchbank, who's going to kick into the middle of the ground, and he's going to find Simpson. He can play on if he wants to. He's got Petreski-Seaton. He gets the handball received. He kicks towards Silvani.
Brilliant kick.
And if Silvani kicks this, it'll make it a 16-point ball game. And Silvani will line up as good as directly in front, 40 metres out, as Plowman comes off under the blood rule after copping that one on the schnoz.
Hey, boys, tell me the long sleeves are a worry now. It was every long sleeve player got involved in that passage of play.
You know what? We must have the same sort of thought process. I was thinking exactly that.
That's a worry.
The long sleeve brigade got involved. There you go. Simpson to Petreski-Seaton now. Silvani. Oh, he can finish this, Nilly.
So Silvani, only 40 metres out. Oh, he's made a mess of that one. So next to Spitwater, that's what it does. On the boundary line is Plowman getting that bloodied nose cleaned up. Nothing too serious. He'll be back on soon, but a bad miss from Silvani. It's 11 points of difference. Carlton 74, lead Essendon 63, 13 gone, final turn.
And that's on the still mates rate scoreboard as Myers goes to himself and then kicks towards the wing. Casbolt went one-handed. Simpson non-preferred right foot, partially smothered by McDonald, Tipping Woody. Charlie Curnow dumps one up inside the 50. Awkward ball. Petrevski-Seton just couldn't bend it around the corner. But they're surging and Essendon are just hanging on here.
Getting smashed at the stoppages.
Yeah. And you're not going to win games of footy when you... And they've got Cruiser. Is he back on the ground yet?
Let's have a look for him.
He's just come back on, I think.
12 points the margin. 11-9-75 to 8-15-63. We'll keep an eye on that bench for Spitwater. 3 Carlton players flying. Watson did throw it to Zaharakis and got away with it. Heppel. Now this is a big ball for Essendon. Heppel looks up. Normally when he's got this amount of time he uses it well. Not this time. Fell at the feet of Doherty, who just threw his foot at it. Got out appealing for deliberate out of bounds, but the defender did as he normally does, Sam Doherty, ever reliable, and got the ball out of bounds.
Carlton plus 10 in clearances.
Yeah, they've been dominant all day. The Cruiser's back on here.
Danaher in the ruck. He got the tap. There's a whistle here. Free kick going Essendon's way for a hole, and the Essendon captain has got it.
Well, this bloke's trying his heart out.
He sure is.
Yeah, little fella.
Heppel and Hurley, the two H's, have been superb. He kicks to half forward. Good use of the body by Wiedering to get rid of Hooker in the contest. Armfield got it to Simpson. Handball smothered. Here's an opportunity for Essendon. McDonald, Tipping Woody. He's immediately held up by a couple of Blues and will have a bounce. Punt road in. Members side of the ground. 60 out from Essendon's goal. It's Carlton in front by 2 straight kicks. 75 plays 63. And the Ray White clock has ticked over to almost 15 minutes.
So we're only halfway through this final term. Bombers trying to keep their finals hopes alive. Danaher's kick was sharked by Simpson, but it's going to come back because standing in the way is Gleeson. He's on the wing, so 2 kicks out from goal at best for the Bombers. Launches one into the 50. Green will get front and square. Good mark, Liam Jones. Just made the ball his own. Look up and live mark of the day contender. The transformation of this man has been nothing short of remarkable. He goes to Gibbs. Slow start, but he's got better as the game has gone on. Looks for Cruiser and finds him. Out at right half back.
Great kick, PD, wasn't it?
It was a brilliant kick by Gibbs. He's just been terrific after that slow beginning. Cruiser not sure what to do with it. So he's going to go the bailout option. Silvani will wait underneath it. Curnow leaping. Comes to the back. Gleeson with a handball. Tried to find Heppel. Heppel somehow found Parrish, who in turn found Zaharakis, who in turn found Goddard. This is a big play now for the Bombers. Inside 50. Hooker goes to ground trying to convince the umpire he was being held. Jones with a handball. Yet again the Blues defending resolutely, and it's going to be Doherty who will bring it out of the danger zone this time.
Long ball, Simpson in front. Good spoil there by Hartley. Now here's an opportunity for Watson. Fires out the handball to Collier. Needs the kind bounce. Gets it. Runs to 50. Pops one over the top to Green in the forward pocket. Punt road in. Lines up the goals. Goes towards the ball. Hits the posts. Just skimmed it along the ground and it's hit the posts. One behind of the Bombers. Carlton 75. Essendon 64. 16 minutes final term. Still mates rate scoreboard.
1 goal for to Josh Green today.
Yeah, he's normally a little bit better than that, isn't he? Well, he hit the fat part of the post, the bottom padding.
Hit the stick.
I hope Carlton don't try and defend this. I mean, there's still 10 minutes of play left. I mean, they'll muck it up if they try and do it this way. They've got to keep attacking and playing the way they've played.
Simpson went short to Gibbs, who went back to Simpson. And then Bokhorst, good contest. Murphy on the hard run. Gives it to Lamb, back into the traffic, to Marchbank, to Gibbs, who's just getting better as the game goes on. He goes out wide. And Petrevski-Seton has it now for the Blues.
They've got to put someone on Gibbs. He's got it again.
Yeah. He's just owning it at the moment, Bryce Gibbs.
Watch out this quarter, Pickers.
Just going to have a look for you, Willsey.
Backwards he comes to Jones while Pickers is looking that up. He comes to Marchbank. He's had 9 in this term on the Simmons home stat sheet. Wiedering goes for a bit of a bounce. Handball over the top to Plowman. Still seeing stars after some friendly fire. That's good protection of the football there. And it was by Wright, who got himself in the way of Gleeson. Didn't let him get a run at the ball. The ball goes out at right half forward, and that will do the Blues because they're the ones in front. 11 points the lead. 17 minutes into the final quarter. At Manuka Oval, the Giants have won. 14-13-97 to Melbourne. 10-2-62.
Cruiser working hard on the members' wing. Got the handball out. Quick kick out of the pack by Wright. Gathered for Essendon by Bagley, backed himself, just got the handball away in the nick of time. Here's Parrish for the Bombers, under pressure, got the handball to Zaharakis, back to Bagley, back to Parrish, handballs to Danaher, gives it back to Parrish, right foot kick looking for Heppel, overcooked the kick, Wiedering's there for Carlton, did well against Hooker, now dives on top of the footy, Heppel has another crack, fed it out to Watson, Watson gave it off to Howlett, Howlett under pressure, a dangerous kick into the middle of the MCG, Petreski-Seaton is snapping at the heels but can't get there in time, a desperate kick out of the pack, comes it back into the middle of the ground to Ken, a clever little tap over the top to Zaharakis. He's found some space. He lines up with a right foot kick and finds a teammate. And it's marked by Hooker directly in front. Punt road end, 45 out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if he kicks this, only 5 points between the two teams. I tell you what, boys, if Carlton win, Carlton supporters will have the best summer, because they will say we've beaten Essendon twice and we've knocked them out of the finals race.
Absolutely they will.
58,562 here, Rob.
Gee, good crowd, isn't it? I reckon 50,000 of them are Essendon supporters.
Hooker kicks towards goal. He's hit the post again. Yeah. Another poster for the Bombers. That's their third for the day. The Blues have hit the post once. 75 plays 65. 19 minutes gone, final term. Still mates rate scoreboard.
Well, they don't win the game, and I don't think they will. Their goal kicking's been horrendous today.
1 goal 4 from Cale Hooker as well. Casbolt leaping as the ball makes its way to the wing, and now Fisher's got it for Carlton. He had assistance and he used that assistance in the form of Doherty. Kick goes wide. Very good mark by Hartley. Juggled it and then brought it into the body, and the kick was a good one too. Into the corridor to Zaharakis. Just a bit too far out to score. He's saying, come towards me. So he chips it into the wide open spaces. Out comes Hooker. Couldn't complete the mark. Green, the opportunist. Does it get to the back? McDonald tipping. Woody is there and kicks the goal. And the Bombers are still alive. Nearly 20 minutes into the last quarter. Anthony McDonald tipping Woody. Draws the margin back to 4. Still mates rate scoreboard. Carlton 11-9-75. Essendon 9-17-71.
Well, on the Chemist Warehouse replay, ball's kicked to the goal square by Green. It bounces off the hands of Stewart. It comes down into the hands of McDonald, Tip and Woody. He knows he's going to get tackled by 2 Carlton players, but he says, catch me if you can. And just with sheer strength and confidence, he breaks his way through the 2 of them. A magnificent goal.
Now, Red Energy experts this afternoon, Robert Walls and Liam Pickering. Carlton must stay positive. They need another goal. In some respects, it's probably a good result for them, because it means they've got to score again and stay positive rather than try and save the game. We've got a stoppage in the middle of the MCG. Blues by 4 points. They need another goal. They can't hang on to this lead.
6 minutes to go. Quarter's a long, long time.
Ball up. Shark by Parrish for Essendon. Kicks to McDonald, Tip and Woody, who takes the mark. What's he going to do? He just pops it up. Oh, beautiful kick to Hooker. Hooker's got it. He worked his way in front of Wiedering. Now Hooker will line up on a slight angle, kicking from 40 metres out at the punt road end.
I saw Hooker. What he did was really, really good. McDonald, Tip and Woody took the mark. Hooker ran towards goal, and then he shoved Wiedering out of the way and then cut back into space.
Hooker's kicked 1 goal 4. And now you can make it 1 goal 5 for the day. Cale Hooker. Carlton 11-9-75. Essendon 9-18-72. 21.5 minutes gone on the final term on the still mates rate scoreboard. There's 9.5 minutes left on the clock.
And Doherty has kicked it to himself, and then McDonald, Tip and Woody has rushed at him and smothered it, and it's ricocheted into the behind post, so Essendon can reset for another go at it. There was shades of Brendan Goddard against the Swans going back a few weeks ago. And now they reset the Bombers. This time it might be in their favour. Hit someone on the head, a Falcon. Murphy gives it out. Kerridge gets it out of the defensive danger zone and kicks towards the wing. Great mark. Outstanding mark against the odds to Levi Casbolt. Look up and live mark of the day contender opposed to a couple. Over the top he comes with a short kick to Matt Wright, who's done his job today with 3 goals.
And then 1 more here, the Blues.
Yeah, his long option is Charlie Curnow.
It's not a bad option. It's going to be near the boundary line.
And that's the way it's going to be. It's a high one. Curnow gets to the front, almost the mark to Bellchambers. Myers runs back into the traffic, and Cruiser makes sure he's not going anywhere and wraps him up. Late change, by the way, around the grounds thanks to Aviator X-Pro from Bale. A lot of talk about whether Bob Murphy would play or not. He is playing at the Gabba. Johannesson, the Norm Smith medalist, is the one who goes out. Collier trying to force his way through the pack. Smet's got his hand on it. Zaharakis on the boundary line. Keeps the ball in play. Heppel tries to get the handball away. Murphy's got it for the Blues. Handball over the top to Wright. Wright will go to the danger zone at the kick-off line. Awkward ball to Mark. Pushing back Connor McKenna. Petrevski-Seaton on the half chase. Bad kick. Howlett gives it to Merritt, and they're able to get out of it. Merritt streaming forward. Now goes to Heppel, and here come the Bombers from the wing.
He's got Watson on short, and the captain kicks to him, to the ex-captain, Joe Watson. Half forward flank, punt right in, waste no time, kicks towards McDonald, Tipperwoody, but it's a shocking kick from Watson, straight down the throat of Doherty, who plays on straight away and switches to the outer side, and it's marked by Simpson. Oof. Oh, you've got to feel for Joe Watson. He's having a nightmare day, and that was a really poor kick. The Simpson's kick is a slightly shanked, but it's good enough to find a teammate in Kerridge, who throws it onto the boot. It bounces to half back on the outer side of the ground. Now the ball's in dispute. Bombers get there first. Gleeson picks it up. Bangs Essendon back inside 50. Hooker! Surely he won't miss again. Punt road end, 45 metres out, directly in front. He's kicked 1 goal 5. I'm putting it down on the record as a goal. He can't miss.
Well, he's due.
Don't say that.
He's due.
He's due. He's got to kick it. This to put the Bombers in front. They trail by 3. Kyle Hooker. Essendon 10-18-78. Carlton 11-9-75. There is 3 minutes and 3 seconds of game time left. Plenty of time for the Blues.
Well, his work rate in the last quarter has been outstanding. He's made himself available. His goal kicking's been putrid. But they've made a change, although Wedding was off him on that occasion. But it was a lovely spot-up kick. And he's out in front again. He keeps presenting. He was ploughing on that occasion, but
he's taken 9 marks, Hooker.
Yeah, he's
good effort, isn't it, for a key forward.
Liam Pickering, Rob Walls for Red Energy, a 100% Australian gas and electricity retailer. We're back in the middle. It's a cliffhanger at the MCG. Cruiser's kick was smothered by Zaharakis. McDonald Tipperwoody got it. Petrevski-Seaton removed the football from him and kicks to half forward where Wright's in the front spot. Cruiser the follow-up. Tried to find Fisher with the handball. Bagley head down, bum up. Got it to Zaharakis. He kicks across the centre square. Wiedering goes for the mark. That left Danaher on the ground. He couldn't gather it. Wiedering goes back in. Gets it to Marchbank, who in turn goes to Simpson. And Simpson spreads one out wide, too wide. He was looking out there for Murphy. Goddard was standing there in the advantage position, and out of bounds it goes. And so we tick in to the last 2.5 minutes of this final term. Essendon 10-18-78, Carlton 11-9-75. The Bombers with it all to play for, and the Blues are playing for pride.
Great tap by Cruiser, finds Gibbs, handballs to Simpson. Simpson kicks as he's tackled, puts Carlton inside 50. It's a mark! Casbolt! Levi Casbolt's taken the mark. 60-degree angle, 30 metres out from goal at the city end, and Big Levi hasn't had many bigger kicks in his life than this one.
Well, the big Savaloy's been his tutor, been his mentor. Let's hope that Sav's teachings have rubbed off on the big Levi.
Essendon lead by 3 points.
Oh,
there's 2 minutes left in the match. Levi Casbolt, 30 metres out. Has hooked it and hooked it badly. Just the points. Essendon 78, Carlton 76. And there is 1 minute 46 left on the clock. Peter Donegan.
And it's Hurley who comes with a short kick, and it was a dangerous one, but it found Ambrose.
They can't allow the square-up kick here. They've got to make them kick down the line, force them, which they're going to.
And they've done that okay, so they've got it one-on-one. Jones contesting, Murphy sweeping handball. Gibbs has had a great last quarter, tackles McKenna. Now, is that deliberate? There was no one else there. He was tackled on the line, could have been a case for it, and Murphy's actually gone back with the football to try and convince the umpire, and the umpire said, I'll do the umpiring. Out of bounds it goes, in front of 58,500 people. The old enemies going at it today at the MCG. Cruiser takes the front spot, but only as far as Heppel, who hoiks it out of the danger zone. Well done by Marchbank, and comes behind him though. This might be the game on the line. Look at McDonald tipping Woody. He's inside 50. This can put the icing on a very sweet cake. And somehow the Bombers are going to survive. McDonald tipping Woody's got his third. And at the 28-minute mark of the last quarter, with a minute to go, Essendon look home now. 11-18-84. Carlton 11-10-76.
Well, the Chemist Warehouse replay shows Heppel getting it at the stoppage, kicks it to the wing. It's a good contest. Marchbank and Stewart. Stewart recovers the quicker, and it's a beautiful kick into the corridor. McDonald, Tip and Woody sprinting towards goal. He takes the mark about 60 metres out, runs his full measure and puts it through. McDonald, Tip and Woody's terrific player, isn't he?
Oh, he's been enormous this afternoon. He's one of the better players for sure on the ground. Most influential, Rob.
So we've got a recall bounce in the middle. There's still a minute and 3 seconds left. Essendon have lost a game from this position this year, so anything is possible.
Gee, they'll need a real quick one though here, the Blues.
They sure do. Cruiser against Belt-Chambers. Got the tap beautifully. Belt-Chambers to Heppel. Handballs to Green. He runs into a wall. Ball ricochets here to Armfield. He's under pressure. Squeezes the kick out to the members' wing. Smith's got pushed in the back. Umpire called play on Stewart. Lost a handle on it, holding the ball.
Oh,
advantage paid. Here comes Murphy for Carlton. Murphy goes short and finds a teammate. And the mark is taken here by Land. Oh, he played on and he kicks and he can't find a teammate of Petrescu-Seaton, who dropped the ball as he dived for the mark, and that'll be the ball game.
I reckon
that will be the ball game. In fact, it was Simpson who dived for the ball.
Yeah. Lamb was in goal-kicking distance, wasn't he?
Well, he had to roll the dice, Lawsy.
It was Simpson who dived for the ball. Couldn't take the mark. Cruiser taps. Comes to Heppel again. What a game he's played. Bangs it on the boot into the middle of the MCG. Green is there at the bottom of the pack. Spills out to Jones for Carlton. Handballs off to Kerridge. He bangs it back inside 50, but it's Essendon. And guess who? Hurley. Hurley and Heppel, the best two players on the ground. And he takes the mark for the Bombers and kicks long to the members' wing. Only as far as Wiedering, who takes the mark, but that'll be it. 8 seconds to go. Wiedering goes inside 50. And the Bombers have somehow manufactured a win when they lost, when they looked in big trouble with 5 minutes to go. And the Bombers now in the 8th, 10 wins, 9 losses. Things look dire for the Bombers with 5 minutes to go. They were in 10th spot on the ladder and in danger of missing out on the finals. All of a sudden, 2 late goals, and they're in the 8th, and now a finals prospect, Liam Pickering.
Oh, and breathing a sigh of relief, I would have thought, Quarters. That was a real hard effort in the end to win. Terrific last quarter. Their leaders stood up. I thought their captain led by example, Dyson Heppel, in that last quarter. Hooker was terrific in the last quarter as well, but oh boy, what a scare they got there from a team that no one expected to get near Essendon today.
Let's have a listen to Dyson Heppel, who's talking to David King, courtesy of Fox Footy.
Found those little hit-ups that we were really trying to stop, but look, we stuck together. We stayed pretty composed on the ground throughout the day, and look, the big chook, we managed to finish off at the end, so stoked with the result.
Took me a while to get going. You missed some opportunities in front of goal. There's a fair bit of frustration there, particularly in that second and third terms.
Well, no doubt. Look, and that's the thing. We're getting plenty of opportunities, just not capitalising. So it's a completely different game if we kick a couple of them. But look, it was a very inconsistent game again, but snuck through by the skin of the teeth. So
an important win, though. I mean, you come here looking to mount a case to finish in the top 8. Really important to get the job done, and you did.
No doubt. Look, that would have completely buried us for the year if we had got done. So season's still alive. We'll regroup again, and look, we've got to try and iron out some of those inconsistencies, but stoked with the result, mate.
Going to have a chat with Anthony from Woody in a moment.
Yeah.
He was sensational that last quarter, wasn't he?
He's a live wire. He's one of those ones that can break a game open like that. So a little weapon, the boy.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
So
yes,
now
sorry.
the Bombers' quarters, as you said, do go into the 8, but it will depend on what the West Coast Eagles do later in this round, because they are 1.4% behind them at the moment and on the same number of wins. So they're in at the moment. They could be out by the end of the weekend.
It just shows you the fine line that, well, Essendon and half a dozen clubs are dealing with at the moment. So for the last 4 rounds, Pete, we're going to have this virtually every game. It's going to mean something.
Yeah,
it just shows you how even the comp is this year.
And Melbourne, after that loss today, are now down to 10th.
Well, they've swapped posies with Essendon today.
Yes, and so at the moment it is, well, let's go through the ladder quickly. Adelaide, GWS Giants, Geelong, Richmond. And it is Adelaide by half a game from the Giants, half a game to Geelong, and half a game to Richmond. That's how tight it is at the top. Here's Anthony McDonald tipping Woody. Let's have a listen to him, and then we'll go through the ladder.
In the end, so really proud of the boys, and it was good to get the win.
Enough about the boys. What about your game, brother? You kicked 3 goals. You're in everything. You were fantastic.
Yeah, that was my mindset. Put the pressure first, and do the attacking second. So worked out really well, and I just work hard and just keep going and play my role for the team, and that's what the boys in the club want me to do. So I'm there to play my role. So
Horatio does the hamstring early in the game, first quarter, and there's a fair bit of space down there. There's probably more opportunities going to fall at your feet now. You're really looking forward to that?
Yeah, Raz pulled up sore, I guess, in the hemis, and I was a bit shattered, but he said, just keep playing. Doesn't matter, just keep playing your role, and that's what me and Greeny have been doing, just play our role and just keep that pressure going, and so it worked out really well tonight. So
we're loving what you're doing, mate. You keep doing it, keep kicking goals and putting on a show for us.
Thanks, mate. That's been good.
Cheers, bro.
He's one of those players, isn't he? When he goes near the football, the whole crowd just lifts and expects something to happen.
He's a player that doesn't need 30 possessions or 30-plus possessions to have an impact. He's an impact player.
I just had a look. I think he's had 16 disposals. He's kicked 3 goals. I reckon he's kicked the goal that sealed the game, but the other 2 goals were memorable, like that one across the boundary line where he bashed through about 3 opponents and just willed his way to the goal square was something special. And the other one down the punt road end where he took the ball in the goal square, knew he was going to get tackled and said, well, come and take me on if you can, and he just used his strength to shrug them off. He's a beauty.
Hey, boys, Essendon's last 3 games. They're in the 8 at the moment. They've got Adelaide at Etihad Stadium. So you'd say that as a loss?
I would think so, yeah.
But the last 2, they've got to go up and play Gold Coast on the Gold Coast.
Yep.
So that's a win.
Yep.
And their last game, they host Fremantle here. You'd say that's a win. So at very worst, they'll win 2 out of 3. Is that going to be enough, Pete?
Seems that way. Look, I think because of Port Adelaide and Sydney's percentage, they're okay, because they're on 11 wins, but their percentage is 131 and 117, which is by far superior to the other 4 teams. Western Bulldogs, well, depends what happens at the Gabba here, because the Bulldogs could go up to 48, so they could go to 5th spot above Port Adelaide for the time being. Essendon 107, their percentage is all right, but the West Coast Eagles are 105 and Melbourne's 104, so they're all around about that same percentage.
Yeah, well, you think Melbourne might have shot themselves in the foot with their loss today.
Could do, yeah.
You would have thought.
And you'd think now with Essendon's win, any chance Hawthorn had,
yes,
it's just about shot now.
Probably done, I think, now.
Yeah, they're just about cooked now, the Hawks. They really needed Melbourne and Essendon to lose today.
Yep, well, they did everything but lose Essendon, but they didn't. In the end, they hung on, didn't they?
It's just, as I said, it just shows you the fine line this year, which is what the AFL's after.
Oh, it's exactly what we want. Yeah, it's been one of those really even seasons.
It's been look, we should give credit to both teams, because we thought Essendon were going to blow Carlton off the park, and then the Blues came back. They eventually hit the front, and I think they got maybe 11 points up at one point, and we thought, gee, they're going to pinch this game, and then Essendon came back in the last 6 or 7 minutes. A really good game of footy.
Well, let's do some awards, boys, before we head up for the game between Brisbane and the Western Bulldogs with Benny Jones and Brent Staker. The Apprentice of the Year, build your future in building and construction with Builders Academy Australia.
I've gone with Sam Petruski-Seaton again. I've seen a bit of him this year, 22 disposals. I thought he was influential in getting Carlton back in the match.
Enroll at Builders Academy Australia and build your future in building and construction. Visit buildersacademy.com.au. The Bendix Brakes big moment. Need your brakes changed? Insist on Bendix brakes and don't accept anything less. Fit Bendix brakes at your next service.
Well, if Carlton had hung on and won, it would have been Tom Bell-Chambers' brain fade here, where he gave away a free and cost a goal to his team and really got Carlton rolling, but they didn't. They won, Essendon. So I've gone with McDonald tipping Woody's second last goal, not the finisher, the one that where Carlton kicked the goal through Gibbs, which was a ripper. He got the snap in the goal square and couldn't put him back in front, or put him back within a goal.
The Look Up and Live mark of the day. If you're working near power lines, always remember to look up and live. Visit lookupandlive.vic.gov.au.
Old mate LJ took a few beauties today, but Jack Silvani in the first quarter was reminded me a little bit of his old man.
The local team at Coates Hire are here to make your next job as simple as possible by having the right gear when you need it. The Coates Hire Goal of the Year nomination today.
I've gone with the goal to McDonald Tippenwoody in the first quarter. It was absolutely brilliant. He just kept the ball alive and busted through a couple and kicked the ripper.
Now to the tackler of the year, the all-new Toro Time Cutter HD, built for comfort and speed.
He played a good game too, the ruckman. Matthew Cruz had 7 tackles, was fantastic.
The all-new Toro Time Cutter HD zero-turn mower. Visit torocatalog.com.au, which leads us, gentlemen, to the Tyre Power Player of the Day. Who gets your Tyre Power votes for the Player of the Year? Robert Walls, Tyre Power's Player of the Year, brought to you by the Tyre Dealers of the Year.
Quarters, I gave 1 vote to Carlton captain Mark Murphy.
Yeah.
Just kept on getting the footy.
Good.
I gave 2 votes to Michael Hurley. Solid as a rock in defence, got a heap of the ball, took some really strong marks. I gave 3 votes to the Essendon skipper, Dyson Heppel, who led from the front, particularly in the second half when the game was in the balance. His last quarter was magnificent.
Here, Robert. Perfect votes today, as always. Let's just recap the final scores. Essendon 11-18-84, 8-point winners over Carlton, 11-10-76.
And the song is just about to be belted out by the Bombers as they keep their finals hopes alive.
Into the 8. Here we go.
Well done to the Bombers in front of 58,562 people. They score a hard-fought victory over the gallant Blues, 11-18-84 to 11-10-76. Boys, just to continue on with that discussion we were having, in light of Melbourne's loss today, these are Melbourne's last 3 games, Pickers.
Yep.
They've got St Kilda at the MCG next week.
Well, I think they can win that.
They've got Brisbane at the MCG in round 22.
Yeah, they'll win that.
And they've got Collingwood at the MCG in round 23.
Yeah, they'll win that too.
They've got 3 very winnable games, so they're not out of the woods just yet, the Demons, but those 2 losses, the one last week by a kick in Hobart and the one today at the hands of the Giants, quite possibly might make the task very difficult for them, but the Quarters, it's just one of those years.
And what a big win by the Giants. So all of a sudden, as I said, they've taken 2 steps forward and 3 steps back this year, so they've a good solid win today, but big question marks on Shane Mumford. It looks like from that incident he'll cop a couple of weeks. So that, again, is a huge problem because really he's their only star ruckman.
And the other thing about the Giants is, have a look at their run. We're talking about people's runs home. They've got the Western Bulldogs at Etihad next week.
They won't beat them.
They've got the West Coast Eagles at Spotless. They'll probably beat them.
West Coast.
And then they've got Geelong at Simmons Stadium round 23. How big is that going?
Huge game, and it's a huge game for the Geelong Footy Club too, by the way. They've got a tough draw as well.
And the Cats have got Richmond next week, which we'll be doing next Saturday afternoon. That's huge. They're all big.
Well, that round 23 game, Wolsey, could be for the double chance.
It's just an amazing season. I think it's the most exciting season that I can remember, because every game is important. And as you mentioned there at one stage, Peter, if Essendon kicked a goal, they went from 10th spot on the ladder to 8th spot on the ladder.
Yeah, and that's where they are at the moment. So the top 8 as it stands at present, with games in progress or a game in progress, let's check that for you now. It is Adelaide by half a game from the Giants, half a game to Geelong, half a game to Richmond, and then a full game away outside the top 4. Port Adelaide with a very good percentage on 44. Sydney Swans with a pretty good percentage on 44. Western Bulldogs, Essendon in the 8. The West Coast Eagles and Melbourne are on the same number of wins as the Bombers. And so it could all be thrown in the air by the end of the weekend.
Yep.
It's been that sort of year.
Oh, we've got a Super Sunday of footy tomorrow too, haven't we?
Yeah, and we've got a good one tonight as well. North Melbourne and Collingwood as well coming your way tonight. We're about to go to the Gabba for Brisbane and the Western Bulldogs with Benny Jones and Brent Staker. Quarters, well done to you. Always a pleasure.
Always good to have a close game, Pete.
And we'll see you at the Cattery next week.
I'll be here tomorrow at the G watching the Hawks beat the Tigers.
Righto.
Confident?
Very confident.
Well done to Wolsey and well done to Liam Pickering. Thank you, boys, for Red Energy.
Good to be here. Well done.
Thanks to Stu in the back of the box and also to Jane and David back at the studio. So the footy continues. Brisbane and the Western Bulldogs. It's coming your way after the break. That is next on AFL Nation right around Australia, thanks to our great friends at McDonald's.
quarter of AFL Nation was for Still. Need a blower? See our mates at Still. They'll look after you with mates rates on now.